Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Laws of Community.
To this.
Yeah,
Sorry, I feel like it's gonna be like a jam now. To this.
to
Welcome,
this.
welcome,
Yeah,
you
maybe.
guys. Oh my
Welcome,
goodness. Okay,
welcome.
we've
I'm
got to
Ronald
get
J.
this green
Raymond.
screen up.
Yeah, we do need to
Sorry,
get
I
this green
just
screen up because it keeps going all over. Yeah, I see.
so. I'm
But all
sorry.
right, so this week's segment, everybody, is a special one regarding the important pillars of our community. One of which is a really major pillar of everyone's community is faith based organizations, as well as our education system. Um, we have two people here that we are going to be introducing y'all to. Edward and Penny Sumrall, Hannah's parents, and they have been for decades huge staples in their community. They have done a lot when it comes to church service as well as working in the school district, and I will allow them to go on a little bit about it. So, if maybe we'll have you start, Edward, and talk a little bit about what you do as the preacher and all of that for your community.
All right. My name is Edward Sumrall. I'm the pastor at First Baptist Church of Bynum, Texas, for 32 years. I've also been the counselor at the local schools, bus drivers, coaches, volunteer fire, and EMS. And my wife is Penny.
Hey, how are y'all doing today? It's good to be here with the family along the way. And I followed a lot of Edward's footsteps. I was also an educator. Of course, I became a preacher's wife when I married him. Uh, that's what, 28 happy years?
Yep.
And so I EMS person also, drive a bus, jack of all trades, master of none, little one act play, UIL academics here in Texas. So being in a small school, as Hannah can tell you growing up, that you have a lot of opportunities to be involved in a lot of things, but we enjoy it.
Yeah,
That's
so
awesome.
many opportunities. I was definitely blessed because I got to. I mean, I say I got to now. I know it was a much different story back then. It was more of I had to be pushed into it and coerced into it. But yeah, I got to experience so much. Actually, let me go ahead and throw these up here. So well, let me go with the Carter Blood Care first. So we did a lot with our school, and Mom and I really did the Carter Blood Care drive with what NHS, right, Mom?
Correct. NHS. At Bynum School, I believe we won the award for small schools for a couple of years. And then whenever I left Bynum School and went to Coolidge, I was also involved with it. And we came home with that same award a couple of years also. So it's a really big thing that we push for. And I also had finally made a gallon in blood donations.
Personally.
Oh
Wow.
wow, that's great.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's one of the things that we got to do. I personally, so we had the option as a senior to get our red blood cord, and you could get, if you couldn't give yourself, you could get a teacher or someone else to what
Your
give for,
place.
right? Yeah, give in your place. But I personally did it myself and gave all of the blood myself. Didn't have anyone step in for me. But yeah, that's one of the ways that we got involved was working a lot with the blood drive, and the specific of that one because Mom and I, we actually got to go 2 or 3 years to the dinner, and then one time we finally drugged Dad along and had to make sure we captured that.
Yeah.
But so the other
But that's
one,
considering blood drives, it's a way that we can reach out to the community and make it you're just not touching the community's lives. You're touching everybody that the Carter Blood Care services in our area. So that would be, hospitals like Baylor Scott and White, Hughley and some of the other ones in the Metroplex, but definitely in the Waco Temple area also, if you're familiar with Texas.
Yeah, and that was all through the school, actually, through the educational systems.
Correct.
Just to stick with education in that moment, then this was for the Hill College. And so I don't remember the specifics of this one. This would be Dad's. But anyways, yeah, Dad, do you want to talk about this one?
In Texas, some of the schools are able to partner with local community colleges, and the students through the high school get what's called dual credit. So they get college credit hours for like English, freshman history, and several classes that are counted towards high school graduation required credits. But it's also working towards a college degree, specifically the associate's degree. And we were able to pioneer that program in a small school, and we had a couple of other students before Hanna that pursued the whole associate's degree. So by the time Hanna came along, and since that time, quite a few students have been able to earn an associate's degree while still in high school. So when they graduate high school, they're ready to start college university as a junior. Meanwhile, they've saved the parents thousands of dollars of college tuition and fees, and the student can then spend 2 or 3 or 4 years at the university level based on their eligibility for sports. But at the same time, if they want to get in and get out and move on to a master's or a career, they've taken 2 years of that plan out, and that student's able to move on into a career faster, and again, saving a lot of money along the way. So that's just something that is Texas. I don't know if other states do that, how they do it, but in some of the schools, the cost of those classes is covered by the high school, and some of the classes are covered by the student and the family. And so here at Bynum, we had to pay the cost, but the college met us halfway and did a buy one, get one free. You pay for one class, and the second class was free tuition. And so that way we could reach out into the community and try to encourage people, get a degree. If you don't like the job you're in, if you're not making enough money, do something about it. Don't try to get on welfare or food stamps and government assistance. Go get a better degree or a training to become certified in a field and go make a lot of money. Right. And here in Texas, the teachers that come out making like 30 to 35,000 the first year. There's a technical college right down the road that their average starting salary is $60,000 a year. So you don't have to go to college and get a 4-year degree to be successful, but you do need to do something besides just a high school diploma these days to be competitive and to make a decent living.
Yeah.
So by offering students that ability to do that, we got them back into the community, back into giving back to the community again.
Yeah. And I really like the main reason I want to talk about that is because I feel like, honestly, Dad, you spearheaded a lot of pushing that forward. And I know you did for me, because I still distinctly remember the conversation is I was like, oh, I want to do that too. I want to get my associates. You're like, no, you don't need to have that extra stress and all that. I'm like, oh, really? You don't think I can do it? I'm going to do it now. Just watch. Just wait. And I did, man. Oh, that was a long, hard 2 years, though, for sure. I shoved it in, doing mini mesters, too. If no one's ever heard of those, that's when you do a class during Christmas break or right at the end. Yeah, spring break. So it's quick. But yeah,
it allowed you to graduate A&M at 19 years old with a bachelor's degree.
Yeah, it did. And I'm going to finish the master's as well. All I have is a thesis left. It's going to happen this year.
Absolutely, it's going to happen. So I have another question to ask y'all. So since I know you guys do your biking organization, if you would like to go into a little bit about what it is that your role is with the Christian Riders. What is the name of the group again?
It's the Christian Motorcyclist Association. This year, I serve as our local chapter chaplain, but Penny serves as our chapter president.
Yes.
That's
For the
awesome.
Salvation Riders. And it's a Christian organization, but we ride motorcycles. But as we tell folks, you don't have to have a motorcycle. You just have to have a desire to go and serve and help and do things. And in fact, we joke that if someone has a pickup truck, come please follow along behind us and pick up some of the parts and pieces that fall off along the way.
Wait, is that pieces of the bike or pieces of you?
Pieces of the bike.
Pieces of the bike.
Yes.
Yeah.
But with the CMA, we also work it together with our church. And sometimes our church has the facilities to host activities, such as we have coming up a movie night coming up in a few days, and that will help raise some money for missions. But it also encourages our church people to be involved in service, anything you can do. So don't just sit around saying, hey, there's nothing to do in a small town. There's lots to do.
That's awesome. Absolutely. That's awesome. And especially with like what we just, went and did with the Global Vision Conference, with all of it being about helping the kids see a movie and get some popcorn. That's awesome to hear y'all are about to do something, giving them a movie opportunity for people. So that's beautiful. And, to kind of tell our audience, that's something that I've noticed is really huge. Like personally, when I've been traveling and everything, I've noticed a lot of churches, a lot of Christian groups go out and go put on these different events and fields for movies and stuff like that for, a lot of the homeless people to come and see something or to get a meal out there. So, it's really nice to hear that it just happens even just in the small town like that too, in your church. It's awesome to hear that you guys put on a festival like that or a movie chance for people.
And I did grab the graphics. I was going to throw that up.
Okay.
Awesome.
So yeah, this was that graphic. And so if you're anywhere near Bynum, you could go and join. It's open not just to the CMA, not just to the church, but to anyone and everyone. Oh yeah, I know. And that was one of the things. Dad, would you mind saying your what I think is your iconic line of how you invite people to church regarding clothing and how they appear and things like that?
We don't care what you wear as long as you're there.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
That was my favorite part.
He's probably the only one with a tie most of the time, except for last Sunday. He didn't wear one.
I just wore a sports jacket, but no tie. So ties and dresses are not required. We would rather have you there than to say I can't come because I don't have a fancy hat, a nice jacket or tie. So as we say, God knows what you look like on the inside. You're not fooling nobody but yourself.
Absolutely. And so also for our viewers to understand too, because the purpose of this segment is really to kind of open up the understanding that people of religion are not out there to just completely drown people with their perspective or with their views, is to kind of open up the understanding that y'all are really there to serve. Like you said, it's really about serving others and to opening up your heart and your doors to those of need. So if there's anything you might be able to touch on that aspect, while you open your doors to.
Our main purpose, of course, is to tell people about God. But sometimes they're not listening. If their tummy's grumbling louder, then their ears are willing to work. And so we do a lot of ministry opportunities. Some people call it social gospel, but we see it as a way of trying to get people to listen, to hear, to see, and to visit, and to get them involved. So I've got a whole list of activities that we could go through that shows you what our little tiny church of 10 or 12 people does in our small community of less than 200 people. But we're very active, even though we're a tiny, tiny little church. So, for example, we work with the school. They have what's called in Texas a FCA, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and the coaches get together periodically with the teams, and they'll have a speaker, do a Bible study or something, and we support our local school in that activity. Also, we will send treats up to the teachers, candies or baskets, and just something to say, hey, thinking about you. And we also work within the city of Bynum, which does not have a store. It has a fire department, a city hall, and the school, and one church. Years ago, there were 3 churches. Now there's only the one church left. But we still work. So when they have a parade or they have a Santa Claus coming for the kids, we work with the fire department and try to support them in their activities. We also work with our surrounding communities, not just Bynum, but we work with what's called Hillsboro Interfaith Ministries, and it's a program in Hillsboro, which is just 6 miles up the road, so that if people need food, if they need clothes, if they need help with their water bill, things like that, we work with that organization to help provide food in our community. We help gather food in the fall for a big food drive so that everyone in the community tries to gather canned goods and turn them into the Hillsboro Interfaith Ministry that gives them food for the rest of the year. We just finished the Hill County Fair, and I know Hanna misses having been there this year, but our church works together and we set up a booth to pass out information, ink pens and things like that. And we're also visible at the auction to help support the children when they're selling their items that made first place or grand champion and things, to help purchase those items or do add-ons and support them, tell them good job, and try to support those kids. Our church also works together with a lot of other churches and Hill College. Weekly, they do a lunch that's free for the students, and we have what's called the BSM. It's a Baptist Student Ministries organization that provides that lunch to the students free of charge. And in fact, I believe we are responsible to provide that lunch next week. Also, in our community, we're often involved in weddings, not just our church community. It's been a lot of former students and families that just need a place. So we offer a very small church. Quite often, we're called upon to assist with funerals, memorial services. We also work with the County Historical Commission representing our community, so that if there's people in our community that are trying to get historical markers, we're able to assist them in that process. There's also a county museum. We have just got on that board of directors to try to help the county museum to tell the story of our ancestors and the community. And it's amazing, after 33 years, I'm still the new guy in town. But there's a lot of history here, and we'd like to share that and save that history for the next generations. We also work together with like I said, the Christian Motorcyclist Association, to the biker community, but you don't have to be a biker. And there's another thing that our church does, and it has increased in the last several years, is we do a shoebox ministry. It's called Samaritan's Purse. It's put out by Billy Graham's son and his program, and they minister all over the world. They come in behind tornadoes and hurricanes and floods. But during the Christmas time, we gather a shoebox and put little toys and things in them, and those shoe boxes are sent all around the world just to let those children know, hey, somebody's thinking about you here at Christmas. As we mentioned a while ago, we've done movie nights so that our community can come out and get involved in the summer, except for when it's too dry or hot. We've done fireworks with picnics for the community. Hosted here at the church. We get the fire department to come out, have a fire truck ready. The people can bring all their fireworks to one location, and people can bring their lawn chairs, sit out and do a picnic, eat ice cream, watermelon, and watch the fireworks. And there's a fire truck close by just in case one of those gets a little bit too warm for the dry grass or something. We also work with the other communities, and they do not have a church, for Memorial Day service at the community cemetery. So once a year, we participate in that service, and they have a big community lunch to visit, to share with folks, see some of the people we may not have seen in a while. And so there are 3 communities here between Irene, Brandon, and Bynum. And as I said, we're the only church left to help serve all 3 of those communities. We've done community music groups where we had a group, Two Country for Nashville, to come in and perform. And the church paid the fee for them. It was open to the public, free of charge. It was a country couple that does a lot of music. And we've had other music groups come and perform, come and sing. We've even had one that was a Christian dance theme with some of the girls did dancing to the music. And so all that's open to our community public. We do a candlelight service on Christmas Eve that is for our community. We sing Christmas songs and read the Christmas story, but it again has been a big outreach. As I said, we're the only church in town, and we started this program about 20 something years ago, but it's been very favorable to just reach out and say hello, neighbors, and enjoy the Christmas Eve service.
Yeah,
we've
that's
also,
really our biggest event too.
Yeah. And so
Definitely.
then we'll do church lunches where everybody's invited. We just had one recently that was a lunch and family games. So had quite a few people stay and just play some games because there's no organized, there's no movie theaters, there's no bingo hall, no bowling alley. There's nothing in our community except for dirt and grass. And so we've done some nights, like I said, beside movies and picnics, just to come up and play some dominoes and some card games and sit around and visit as an outreach. And of course, as a church, we minister to the sick, maybe those that are in the hospital, some maybe they're dying with cancer or something. And we also offer Bible studies and worship services. So just kind of a short rundown that even in a small community with a small church with just a handful of people, there's a lot that can be done to involve the community. And so sadly, many pastors go into their church community and they are just the preacher. They preach, they teach, and they go home. And then they wonder, what else could I be doing? And there's a lot they could be doing if they would go to the school meetings, if they would go to the Little League and watch the baseball games go on, which we don't have those here in Bynum. But you get involved, and that's where you go to meet people. And to reach people is to be active in the community.
They're not always going to come to you. Sometimes you got to go to them.
So I would encourage anyone, don't just go to church, be the church in the community.
Wow.
Absolutely.
And
wow.
Ron, do you have any other questions? Because I know what I'm going to say next.
If you know what you're going to say next, say it.
Well, I wanted to introduce the last graphic that I had to kind of honor Dad, and Mom, you're honored as well. We love you, and you are definitely the woman behind the man that does all of the, might I say, techie things, because Mom runs the live. We do we have a live every church Sunday, and nice close up, Ron. But the other thing I wanted to bring up was this beautiful graphic of all of our family when Dad received his honorable mention, I think, type thing. Mom, why don't you talk about this one since we've heard his voice a lot?
Well, he has served now for 32 years as the pastor here, and whatever. It was actually the 31st year whenever they came up because we had COVID in between all that. And so they honored him with a nice plaque, and we had all the family there, immediate family and all, and grandkids for this, and had a big dinner afterwards. So it was a nice honor for the service that we have done. Him as a pastor, me as the wife, and as a family together that supports us. That's another thing, being supportive of one another, even as a family.
So for all of our viewers, this is my family from, how should we do this? What, left to right or right to left? I mean, let me start with myself. So I'm on the far right, definitely a few more pounds than I have on now. Behind me is my late husband, Emerald. And then my mom is holding Precious Walker, who is the child of Amanda and Cooper behind her and Dad. And then to the right of Dad, left for people viewing it, is Allie Moore. She is y'all's first grandchild, right? My niece. And then after that, we have Granny Louise West Sumrall and her late husband, Papa Bryant, who has now left us as well and is in a better place. And then last but not least is my oldest sister, Cortland. She still goes by Moore or Sumrall.
Yes.
So yeah, the whole family, right? I don't think we're missing anybody there. Wow, it's been a while since we've done any kind of pictures like that, though. We need to do it again.
Right.
Walker's got
bigger. The picture with Ron in there now.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yep.
we got to get Ron in there now. Most definitely. But yeah, I just wanted to show that because that's definitely. I know you have that plaque like up on your dresser in the bedroom, and it's something you look at every morning as you're tying that tie before you go to church.
Yeah.
Now, there is one last thing I really want to say, and that's because once again, this episode is really to open up our viewers' eyes to understanding that faith-based organizations are not they're not something to fear if you're not with one or another faith. They're there to help, and ultimately, there's a lot of stigmas against Christians nowadays. There's a lot of stigmas against the Christian faith and Christian church. I personally, coming from Portland, Oregon, I know a lot of people that are just completely down with the church. They just completely are like, hey, God is evil, all these different things because of just so much misunderstanding in history with a bunch of people who want to force beliefs. And one thing that I've gotten the gratefulness and the graces of being able to experience is the complete opposite side of someone who hasn't found myself very religious. It is the Christian faith that I have found myself sitting amongst the most in my life. I have a lot of family, the way I was raised, and then as well as y'all, I'm so grateful anybody who is here to be introduced to you and Benny, Edward. You both have opened your hearts and your home to me, knowing that I'm not of Christian faith fully. That I believe that there is a God, there is a higher power that looks over me. But the understanding that we all come from somewhere that is of love, and ultimately we are people here on this planet. That is the biggest thing that true Christians, true people of faith, really believe. It's not about whether or not you disbelieve or you believe. It's about being that genuine person and being there for others. And so that's what I'm really grateful that y'all are these staples in your community, because you could have been somebody who completely thumps the Bible and makes somebody of your position look bad, but instead you completely do so much greatness for your community. And it is really beautiful to see and to be a part of your guys' family. And that's something I want our viewers to understand, is even if you're not of faith, even if you're not of Christianity, of Islam, of Judaism, of Buddhism, of whatever, if you need help, if your family needs help, if your community needs help, and you see a temple, a church, anything in your community that you can reach out to and find that loving source of community, do it. It really, it won't hurt to go and search, even if you're not of that faith in that moment, and you need that food, you need that clothes, you need that support of just somebody to talk to. Most of these places will not close their doors off to you. They will not shun you like it's thought to be. Just because you're not of Christian faith doesn't mean they're going to shut the doors on you and say, damn you all to hell. understand that they really are here for you. They are here to make sure that you and your families are fed, that you and your families are a part of the community as well. I mean, the church was truly created for people to just gather together with a like mind, a like heart, and to be able to eat and experience celebrations together. So don't be afraid to go out there and reach out to your local preacher, your local pastor. Go and really see what it's about. And even if you're not of faith, you might find some great friends. You might find some people you consider like family. You might build a bigger and brighter future just from that one step. So don't close your doors out just because you don't agree with everything.
Yeah, I actually remembered when Emerald and I first moved to Melrose. I know my dad, he was like, go visit all of the churches, even if it's not the Baptist church, just go visit them all. Go see, if you can find you a new crew.
Yep.
So definitely don't discriminate. I know they don't discriminate against me, which I love them for. And yeah, we've had even Granny joined us here. So thanks for bringing Granny on to watch our show. Granny is
Yeah,
my
thank you.
grandmother. Louise, that we saw in the pictures, Edward's mother. um, Almost didn't get that right. And yeah, I think. Do you have any other questions, Ron? About out of
Uh,
time, taking people's day away.
I don't really have any more questions. I feel like they covered a lot. Maybe I have one more, and that's for Penny.
All right.
So you have become a part of a community that has helped me a lot in this last month. And you've also become a part of a community that is now helping us in a whole different way. But this is Trinant. It is a
Right.
skincare product
Health and
and
wellness.
health and wellness
Right.
product. And I've been personally using their collagen for the last month, and I
I'm
have seen an
I'm
extreme difference. I
I'm
have
getting the picture
I
now.
have Yep, I have a dermatological diagnosis. It's called hyperdentitis, and it causes massive cysts, massive abscess, and stuff like that. And I have craters. So once she gave me this, she noticed that I have all these craters in my skin, on my back, my neck, my shoulders, my armpits, everything. I even was disqualified from joining the Marine Corps from it. And if I had this stuff back then, I can guarantee I would have been told I could qualify. And that's how much it's done a difference. These craters that are on my neck and back that have been there for years that I thought would never go away have started just completely flattening out and becoming lighter. My skin is getting more flushed rather than just being completely like dead. Like it has done a miracle on me. So even just the collagen alone, I haven't done anything different with my hygiene. I haven't done anything different with my diet really. I That is just from that. So if anybody is looking to get any skincare, any wellness care products, well, health and wellness products, reach out to Penny, reach
Definitely.
out to Hanna. Either one of them, Hanna will help Penny still. You know, they're in it together. So
Or
reach out to
you.
them or me, but definitely reach out to Penny. It'll help you change your life if you have bad acne, and it will make you feel a lot better too. Because every night when I go to take a drink of it and I'm drinking it down, it's like, oh man, this is a little gross, but I know that I'm gonna feel better the next day because I am seeing that difference. I'm really
Yeah.
seeing that difference. So it really does a lot. So
As we age, our body doesn't produce the collagen that we need it to produce, and collagen's
okay.
important for your,
Skin.
skin, not only skin, but your joints and every, the elasticity in your skin, and it makes a total difference. And the other product that I take for, good gut health makes a total difference too, and just the getting rid of the inflammation in your body. It's amazing. And I just was astounded at those photographs. When you sent that to me, Ron, I was going, wow, absolutely
Yeah.
wow.
I was astounded myself because I've never seen my skin that clear. Like ever since I was a teenager, I've never seen myself that clear at all. And like the fact that
this is back alone.
I really and that's
crazy.
day one to day one. That was seriously 3 weeks apart. It was ridiculous. You know, it's a big difference. And like I said, I wish I would have known about it back then, even though I'm glad that I never joined the Marine Corps, because I wouldn't be here today. But you know,
you won't be afraid when we go on the cruise in a couple of weeks.
To go he's never been anyways.
I've had my different I've had some self esteem issues from it, so I definitely am feeling a lot more confident, that's for sure. A lot more comfortable in my skin, and it means a lot, so thank you.
It was funny. That was one of his like stipulations when we got together, is he was like, you have to help me with my acne. But then again, I was the one that came from Mom, who would be like, you got a white head, you don't need to have that. And so I'm like, you got a white head, you don't need to have that. So I was like already going after his acne, and he's like, no, you got to help me with my acne if you're going to be my girl. So I helped him with his acne. There we go. Got him connected.
I don't know if it was exactly like that, but yeah. I do appreciate it. But anyways, once again, everybody, thank you for viewing. Thank you, Edward and Penny, for being here. And
thank you, Mom.
If anybody is looking to find themselves, they're finding themselves in any sort of moment in life where they're questioning their faith, Edward's an amazing person to speak with. If you're just wanting to get some good quality, insight on life, or how to kind of just be a wholesome person, good health, bringing yourself good health, Penny's a really amazing person to talk to with your health and wellness. So just reach out to them if ever.
So they have plenty of time to talk to you.
Yes. But go and check out, if you're ever in Bynum area, go and check out the church. Go and say hi. Once again, even if you're not part of the faith, go and say hi. Stop by. They're amazing people. They have an amazing community. So I appreciate y'all, and I can't wait to see y'all next week.
Thanks for coming on, you guys.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I guess that's about all we have. All we have for tonight, right?
Yep. I would say I think that went pretty amazing. I feel like, with everything that we've talked about so far, it's been a lot about kind of just dealing with what's inside in order to build your community. So I feel like this was kind of a good step towards, really introducing the different aspects of community that you can go towards once you've kind of started looking at your inner placement, especially when your dad was, going over all the different things that, you can really find in your community. There's so many things you can find in your community that can help you propel what you're doing, or to even just help propel your life, just your happiness, just getting that active sense to yourself, that placement in your community is reassuring, so
100%. There's always a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. So definitely. And if you ever have questions, reach out to us. If you're too scared to go to your church, I know it can be daunting, but reach out to us first, no matter where you're at, whether you're in New Mexico, you're in Texas, you're in Louisiana, you're in Timbuktu, you're all the way in Alaska, we will get you connected. Honestly, that's what I've been telling people. When I have nothing else to offer them, I'm like, just reach out to me. If you are trying to figure out an issue and you have no clue who to talk to, call Hanna and Ron. We will figure it out. We will find somebody. We will find someone somewhere. And yeah. But other than that, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to all of our live viewers. Or do you want to? And then we'll wrap it up.
Oh, I was going to just say on what you were just saying a second ago. Yes, definitely reach out to us because we will be your Oasis.
Sorry, just had to roll my eyes at you a little bit.
That's okay.
All right. So, yeah, shout outs. Thank you so much, Johnny Regan. We love you so much. You are definitely a rock to us now, and we appreciate you watching every single week like clockwork.
Yes, thank you, Johnny.
Once again,
thank you, Blanca, as well.
Yes, thank you, Blanca, for joining us, for helping us engineer, and her lovely engineer, Kirill, who does all of our lovely little things. I mean, sometimes I throw up the graphics because I don't tell people in time, but Kirill does so much, like putting people on and off and all of the background stuff. And last but not least, thank you once again to my grandmother, Louise West Sumrall, for joining us live, and Lana as well. I didn't see anyone else, so if you don't comment, by the way, guys, if you don't comment, we don't know you're watching. I mean, we can see the numbers. We had 10 viewers tonight, babe. Did you see that? 10 viewers.
Yeah, I noticed. That was crazy.
Awesome.
Like right off the bat, there was 7 for like a good half of our show at the most, or at least. I mean, like for at least half of our show, there was a good 7 people there the whole time, which was awesome.
We love you guys. But yeah, if you don't comment, we don't know who you are watching, because Restream, the app that we use, it just shows us a number of viewers, but then we can see your name when it comes to the chat. So be sure and chat with us live. Be sure to interact with us live. Yeah, I think I'm good. How about you?
I think I'm good too. Honestly, I just want to let you all know that we're really happy to have you here with us every week. We're really happy that you guys come and visit us and talk to us and say all the things you say every week, like Johnny. Thank you again. And as well as thank you to our guests that want to be here every week with us. Each one of you that have been on and continue to be on with us in the future. If you want to join, reach out, send us some info. Reach out on our DMs on Oasis Fundamentals, Crystal Dragon Illumination, or Ronald
personal page,
Raymond personal page, Hanna Sumrall personal page, Hanna Rebecca Sumrall, Ronald J. Raymond, or Ronald Raymond. I got a couple different pages. One's my business personal, which helps regulate my business page, and my personal. So either one, I really don't care.
Anyways. All right. We will see you guys next week and let you get back to your other regularly scheduled programs. Sorry, I really like saying that because we're a regularly scheduled program now. Look at us go. Yeah. All right. Love you guys. And I think that's it. Bye. Yep. See you next week.